Greetings, my name is Kristian Purwanto from Universitas Kristen Satya Wacana, Indonesia. Today I would like to present my research about the shift of consumer online purchase behavior, the role of COVID-19 pandemic as a situational variable, with Mr. Kristian Novi Adinugraha as my co-author. These are the contents that will be delivered in this presentation. Introduction. The highly contagious COVID-19 virus dispersed from Wuhan, China, back on December 2019, according to Kim 2020. Lockdown were implemented, and people only allowed to go out for important or urgent matters, according to Baldwin 2020. Businesses shut down, massive drop in hotel and travel business. So non-essential business that requires a face-to-face encounters are shut down by the government. Interestingly, the demand for internet, video games, and television programs are increasing according to Variab 2020. The pandemic may eventually drive people to shop online, as it has a lot of benefits in this pandemic era, according to Kim 2020. Some of the benefits are more convenient, more economical, and flexible in terms of location and time. Research question: does the COVID-19 pandemic influence the consumer online purchase behavior, particularly in frequency, the choice of product category, and budget? Research objective: this study is created to investigate the shift of online consumer purchase behavior by comparing before, during, and after the pandemic behavior. Literature review: COVID-19 pandemic, according to Kim 2020, is a global scale pandemic that is caused by the very contagious SARS-CoV-2 virus. This virus had infected 1.6 million people and killed at least 100,000 people worldwide by April 10, 2020. The shift in consumer online purchase behavior, according to Dinesh Muniraju 2021, is the differences in online purchase behavior in terms of frequency, budget, and product category due to COVID-19 pandemic. Hypothesis. H1, there are differences in consumer online purchase behavior between before, during, and after the COVID-19 pandemic in terms of frequency, budget, and data category. Research methodology, research data and data source. This research is using quantitative data, and the data source is a primary data. Population and sampling. This research is using a convenience sampling method, and the population are a group of respondents domiciled in Salatiga, Indonesia. Data collection technique. Questionnaire is shared through Google Form platform, consisting of 3 parts. The first one is demographic profile, internet usage, and online shopping behavior. For the online shopping behavior, the respondents are required to choose an answer based on their experience. For example, the respondents have to choose their online shopping frequency during the pandemic, with answer ranging from never to more than 5 times a month. And for the data analysis technique, this research is using repeated measure ANOVA and T-square test to analyze the data. Result and discussion. This part is for the frequency. First, we have to conduct the assumption of sphericity test. So you can see here the significant value is at 0.001, which is less than 0.05. That means we can move on to the next stage, greenhouse and Geyser test. The significant value of greenhouse and Geyser test is at 0.001, which is less than 0.05, meaning that there is a significant difference between each period of time. Next, we can move on to the next table. In this table, we compare before and during the pandemic. The significant value is at 0.001, which is less than 0.05, meaning that there's a significant difference between before and during the pandemic. And during and after the pandemic, the significant value is at 0.009, which is less than 0.05, meaning that there is a significant difference between during and after the pandemic. So the respondents tend to increase their frequency of online shopping even after the pandemic. Next one is for the purchase product category. We can see that the overall t-square value is at 0.000, which is less than 0.05, meaning that there is a significant difference between each period of time. And next, we compare before and during the pandemic using t-square. We can see that the significant value is at 0.000, which is less than 0.05, meaning that there is a significant difference in process product category between before and during the pandemic. Next, we compare during and after the pandemic. The significant value is at 0.77, which is more than 0.05, meaning that there is no significant difference between during and after the pandemic. So the process product category of the respondent is relatively the same between during and after the pandemic. Next is for the budget. Same as before, we have to do the assumption of sphericity test. The significant value is at 0.001, which is less than 0.05. Then we can move on to the next stage, greenhouse and geyser test. The significant value is at 0.001, which is less than 0.05, meaning that there is a significant difference between each period of time. And then we can move on to the next table, comparison between before and during the pandemic. The significant value is at 0.001, which is less than 0.05, meaning that there is a significant difference between before and during the pandemic. Next, during and after the pandemic, the significant value is at 0.240, which is more than 0.05, meaning that there is no significant difference between during and after the pandemic. The budget spent for online shopping between during and after the pandemic is relatively the same. Conclusion. The result of this study support the first hypothesis, H1. There are differences in consumer online purchase behavior between before, during, and after the COVID-19 pandemic in terms of frequency, budget, and category. These results show that the consumer online purchase behavior differs within its period of time before, during, and after the COVID-19 pandemic. The result shows that the respondents tend to increase their online purchase during the COVID-19 pandemic and maintain them even after the pandemic. Limitation and further studies. For the limitation, the first one is the number of the participants during the survey is deemed relatively small. The second one, respondents have a potential issue distinguishing the period between during and after the pandemic. Respondents might think that the period during a pandemic is a new normal similar to after the pandemic. Further studies, first one, further future studies can extend the sample size and the scope of respondents to a different regions. Second one, future studies also may break down the analysis into various consumer segments, such as generation cohorts. And the last one, using another statistical method to profile the behavior based on segmentation is recommended, such as cluster analysis and a causal model. That is all from me. Thank you.